Hello everyone. I have something to talk about today that is, I think, kind of interesting. And I hope you guys find it interesting too. So let's get into it. In this partially covered pen is Bucky and Quackers. Quackers over there is the only one that lays eggs in this area. Yelena only lays in the A-frame. So something interesting has been going on with Quackers right here. This is the one from yesterday. This is an egg without a shell. I'm going to touch it, go ahead. This is an egg without a shell, where the shell was incredibly soft, and now it's crispy like a leaf instead of crunchy like an eggshell is supposed to be. And I don't see any eggs from today. So, what's happening here is that something with Quacker's body is not forming the shells of the eggs correctly. And I'm going to go over the number of reasons that this could be happening. Yes, I know I need to fix our covering. We have new covers for this and we just got to swap them out. Anyway, so why this could be happening, and then after I go through all the things that can cause it, I will talk about what I think is going on with Quackers. Hi, Bucky. Let's see that nice crest. Yeah. Okay, so reasons why a bird would lay a shellless egg. The probably most common reason is that they are young birds and this is their first laying season, and they're just getting everything figured out. They haven't quite gotten the egg factory working quite right, and it will pass. And after, a week or two of rough eggs, you'll have normal eggs again. Another reason would be that there is a nutrient deficiency. Most commonly probably would be calcium, but even if, I know Samson looks like they have a limp. We have been monitoring her legs for a while, and we can't find anything wrong. So I couldn't tell you what's wrong. Sometimes she has a limp, sometimes she doesn't. But we do check her feet for bumblefoot and signs of injuries, and we got nothing. We don't have any avian or duck vets around here, so it's whatever I can do. But she's happy as a clam, so couldn't tell you what's wrong with that leg. Anyway, calcium is probably the most common nutrient deficiency. But also there are some nutrients, I've seen magnesium, boron, and vitamin D mentioned, that can cause nutrient deficiencies that prevent the absorption of calcium. So if a duck is low on boron or magnesium or vitamin D or something like that, they'll struggle to absorb the calcium that they need and could end up with shellless eggs. Another common reason would be an unfortunate something genetic. She just is not capable of laying, the bird is not capable of laying shelled eggs or well-shelled eggs, or the laying is going to be inconsistent. There's nothing really you can do about that besides not breeding them. And I suppose there could be an infection or something like that would be causing an issue. So those are the common reasons that you would see someone or a bird struggling to lay shelled eggs or struggling with their shell eggs. As far as Quackers goes, so if we look at this is her first breeding year. This is her second laying season. I don't know how much she laid last year. I wasn't keeping as careful track back then. And but she did also have that animal attack a couple months ago. So, it could be that because of the stress from the animal attack and it only being her second laying season, that things just aren't greasing very well. And the egg factory's having a little trouble, and it'll pass. I think that there's a fairly solid likelihood that she has a nutrient deficiency. That would be my best guess. So we don't have specific duck layer feed. I feed them a cut between chicken layer that is calcium that has calcium in it, and regular duck food at 18% protein. And then I put oyster shells in it to increase their calcium. So I don't think it's a calcium issue. However, because I am giving them partial chicken feed, there's a good chance that they aren't getting the requirements that they have for the other nutrients like vitamin D and such. Genetic or infection, if making sure that her nutrients are upped and giving this time to pass doesn't work, then we would have to think about whether it's genetic or an infection. Her mother was a great layer. Doesn't mean it's not genetic. And then the other option is that she has an infection. And honestly, I won't know for quite a while. Like I said, there aren't really any duck vets around me. I would have to take her down to the cities, or I would have to take her down about 2 or 3 hours. And that's not something that I realistically can do. So at that point, if we had more signs that she had an infection, I would just separate her and hope for the best. Give her what over-the-counter antibiotics I could. So that's kind of where we're at. So let's go see what we can do about it. My stovetop is messy, I'm sorry. So I have some vitamin D here and some hot water, and what I'm going to do is just cut this vitamin D soft gel open and mix the soft gel into the hot water. Okay, so that first one worked well, where I just kind of cut a hole in it and squeezed it out in there and let the water fill it. Sorry, my light's going out. So we're just going to try that again and see if we can get all the vitamin D out. Okay, so we have, actually, it's lukewarm water for now, but we'll just add our vitamin D water, toss that to the side, fill it up with some more water, and then we'll give this to them. And there we go. There's the water. I dumped the rest of their water to make them more inclined to drink the vitamin D water, and we'll give that a few days and see if it helps. And today we do have a successful shell, a little less than 24 hours after giving her the vitamin D water. So that's looking real good.